Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Blue Purple Haze podcast. I am your host, Isaac, here, and I'm here to give you my best insight on Chicago Cubs baseball and Minnesota Vikings football. So, the Cubs get a much needed series win over the Tampa Bay Rays as they win 2 out of 3 games against Tampa. Now, boy, was this ever a much needed win after a very slow start, after a pretty bad start for the Chicago Cubs. Did they ever need this? And what did I say basically about I actually didn't say anything. This is my first Chicago Cubs video ever made, but you needed to win this to get some sort of momentum going for themselves, because after the Pittsburgh Pirates, the schedule doesn't get any easier for them, because they're going up against the Mets, the Phillies twice, the Dodgers, the Padres. I mean, it's gonna be a very rocky ride, if you will. You needed to win this one, and they did. And I understand that, and it was trending in that direction with the first game as they lose that one 6-4, where, let's go ahead and talk about every single game that happened and break that down. So the first game, they lose 6-4. They did have opportunities to win that game early on in the game. They were up. It was going so well. Cubs, Nico Horner knocks in 2 runs. It's a 2-0 game at that point. It's like, great, good start. But then in one inning, they gave up 4 runs, the defense. It wasn't all Jamie Teon's fault. He actually, I thought, played okay. He did play well. He had 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. Considering those numbers, that's not entirely bad. He did give up he gave up a solo, a 2-run home run, and one of the runs was given up by a bad defensive misplay by Dansby Swanson and Pete Crow Armstrong in that game. So then the Cubs made it interesting in the 6th inning, where they made it a 3-4 game, a guy on second, and they had another opportunity to at least tie the game up and still make it or maybe even take the lead. And with 1 out, mind you, and then you got, I forgot what the sequence was. A ground out and a pop out. Inning over. I feel like you would have had a better chance at getting more runs and making it somewhat a closer game than what it already was. And so then also the very next inning, it was still a 4-3 game. The bullpen still has to hold up. Phil Maton, in that inning, gave up a 2-run home run, and for all intents and purposes, that game was over once he gave up that. And Matt Shaw did eventually get a solo home run, but it was in garbage time. It essentially didn't matter. But also, Phil Maton struggled really mightily. He struggled mightily. Gave up a 2-run. Not only did he give up a 2-run home run, in the second game, he gave up another 2 runs, 3 hits. Phil Maton was really struggling in this series. It's definitely it's definitely concerning, because they paid him a boatload of money, and he just does not look confident on the mound. So the positives this second and third game that you go to, Cubs offense was the one that carried them to this series. And I know that the Rays defense is pretty bad, but you can only control who you're going up against, cuz the Chicago Cubs won the second game 9-2, and the last game 6-2. They scored a total of 15 runs in those two games and 23 hits. What have the Cubs been struggling for the first three series is at bat. We never seen very much of the big names come out, and it was just out after. It was 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out constantly. They had a hard they had a hard time getting on base, and not with just, and they always gotta hope that they get walked. So there's a lot of positives. I would say, in my opinion, who was the MVP of this game? No doubt Nico Horner. Man, he absolutely balled out. He had a total of 6 for 13 and 6 RBIs and a home run. This dude absolutely put up a masterful series performance. He, in my opinion, is the MVP. So he did, in the first game, he was the first 2 runs that the Cubs scored in the first game, and a solo home run to lead in the third game to start off at the first bat. I didn't think this dude would be a good leadoff. I thought he'd be a decent, but Nico Horner, amazing. Javier Assad in the second game, he did as well of a job as you could have asked for, considering the injuries that the Cubs starting lineup has had to deal with. He's had 5 2/3 inning pitched, a hit, 0 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Not very good. I would say very good by Javier Assad. He did about as well as you could have possibly asked for. Colin Ray in the third game, I thought he did okay too. The numbers don't jump out. And mind you, none of these numbers really jump at you as far as like the starting lineup, but Colin Ray did fairly well too as well. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, and 2 strikeouts. Now that one run, that's something I would have challenged, where I believe this was the 3rd or the 4th inning, where the runner, when he was tagging second, I would have challenged that, because it looked like to me that Swanson had the glove on the batter before the batter touched. I know it was close, but that's something I would have argued to challenge. But you know what, though? I mean, you can't really. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I mean, you were up. You won 6-2 in that game anyway, so it didn't really give any, like, make a difference. You would have been win 6-1 maybe, but I digress. So, Michael Conforto, I mean, this dude has been garbage this season, and the last 2 games, I mean, he was absolutely solid. He overall had 3 for 7 and 3 RBIs. He also hit a double that brought in 2 runs, and a terrible throw by the Rays that made it a third run. And it didn't count as a triple. It just counted as a double because of a terrible throw by Rays outfielder. But I thought Conforto did very good. Not in the first game though. He was 0 for 1 or something like that, but I thought Conforto did well enough. Alex Bregman in the second game, we haven't seen much of this. This was a classic Alex Bregman game. He was 3 for 5. I mean, he didn't bring in any RBIs, but he was 3 for 5 in that game, and he scored. And hopefully this continues for Alex Bregman, but this is what we signed him for, or what we think we signed him for. Moises Bayes, I hope I pronounced this right. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but Moises Ballesteros. Okay, got it. Nailed it. He was 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and his first home run of his career for the Cubs. So good for him. PCA was solid. He had a nice play he did have a bad play in center field where he just missed the ball. Where he just barely missed the ball in the outfield. He made a very nice play, though, to make up for it in the first game. And at bat in the second game, 3 for 5, a solo home run. He was great. Yeah, he was great in the second game, too. So overall, I mean, considering, though, the injuries, though, that the Cubs have had, with Cade Horton missing the rest of the season, Matthew Boyd missing at least 2 to 3 weeks of baseball, you needed the offense to carry this team, and you absolutely need that to happen if you want to win. Besides Cabrera, I mean, the starting pitching lineup is actually not too bad, I would argue, but with this lineup, you need to rely on the batting. Hopefully this continues the rest of the series. Hopefully it continues against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where, yes, you will have Matthew Boyd returning, but still, yes, that we can say the same time the Rays, they're a terrible defense, but you can only really control who you're going up against. But hopefully this was a wake-up call and say, hey, this has been working. Let's keep trying to do what we've been doing, and it will be successful. So, I mean, very good series. The Cubs overall are now 6-6. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Go Cubs.